Hey, back with another video, and today we have the August Christian Readathon. I would like to say this is year 5 or 6. I actually don't remember anymore. So you'll have to go back to my YouTube, my home channel, and go back through and see. I actually don't remember. And I don't have it in a playlist. Maybe I need to do that so I can start keeping track of it. Anywho, we have our prompts, which I copied them and then forgot them. I do know it is a Christian romance, a fantasy book, like a Christian fantasy book, a read together, a book that you read together with like another person or a group, like your small group of ladies or your small group with men and women. It can be a testimonial. And there's one other prompt that I am forgetting, but I will have all the prompts down in the description. And that is if you want to read, like have a guide, like for a prompt type of guide, which is originally how I started this readathon. But then as the years have gone, I've realized what I'm more comfortable with reading. And if any of you are a little like me or a lot like me, sometimes having prompts kind of is like having rules, and sometimes we want to rebel against the rules. And so because of that, I also am just saying read a Christian book, whether it is a testimonial, whether it is a devotional that lasts a month or, a week or a couple of days, whether it is you reading with a group of people or with one other person or 2 other people for that accountability. Whether you just want to read like Christian horror, Christian romance, Christian fantasy, any of those things, just read Christian-based books this month for your Christian Readathon. I will be following the prompts and not following the prompts. I'm actually going to be doing both. And also what counts is if you guys have started your group read together in like June or July and you're ending in August, I will also count that. And the reason I say that is because sometimes some devos are just really good and they take a while. They take time because it's based off of schedules and how we can get everybody together and, all of that. So I personally will count that only because it ends in August. So it can start at the beginning of August. It can end at the end of August. But no matter what, it has to end in August, even if you started it in July or if you started it at the end of June or at the beginning of June. If it ends in August, we will also count that. Yeah. So let's get into what I am reading. I have a sorry, I was getting a phone call. I will be reading lots of books. I have lots of books on my TBR, and by lots of books, I have 7 books. I have 7 books on my TBR. I believe it's only actually 6 prompts. And I don't know that I'm going to get to all of them. I'm going to be perfectly honest and real with myself. I start a new school district this month. As a matter of fact, I start on the 4th. So with me being new in my district, and then I'm new to the grade level I'll be teaching. I'll be moving from 6th grade to 7th grade. And so all of the units in science that I'm teaching are new to me as the way the units are set up. Not necessarily the concepts, but just how they're set up. Everything is new to me for me to teach. So new school district, new school, new grade level, new units to teach. All of it is new. So um, being perfectly realistic with myself, I'm not sure if I'm going to get more than maybe 2 or 3 books read, and that's because 3 of my books are on my Kindle to where I can turn on the audio help if I need to. None of my books that I'm reading have audiobooks to them, but Kindle has like a reading assistant for you. So that may help me get some of these done. But I don't know. I don't know how it'll turn out. And I'm just going to be very, very realistic with myself. So the books that I chose overlap the categories very much so. So I am grateful for that, and that does count. In case we were wondering if it counted or not, it does count. If one book overlaps with other um, categories, go ahead and read that book, because look, I'm a mom of 3 and a wife, and I have hobbies, and I'm in my heavily involved in my church. So like, we all have those lives, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you you're cheating if you don't have a different book for every prompt. No, you're not. If they overlap, you're good. Okay, so one of the prompts was just read a book as long as it's Christian based. And I just remember that because of one of the books that I chose. All right, so for physical books, I got this book from Scholastic 2 or 3 years ago, and I never read it because, like, I read my Bible, so I'm just like, I don't need to read it right away. But I have a now 5th grader, and he loves reading these books, and he asked to read it, so I'm going to read it first, which I don't think there's anything in here that's like ridiculous or crazy. I just want to read this first to see if the facts align with the Bible before I hand it off to him and have him confused. So yeah, I was actually very, very surprised when I saw it. So I definitely grabbed a copy. And no, I did not keep it in my classroom for a very long time. I kept it at home because I had every intention to read it when I first got it. But then it just kept getting pushed off. So I'm going to read it. And once I do read it, I will take it back to my classroom. And the reason why I will take it back to my classroom is because in classroom settings, you're allowed to, even if it's surface learning about all of the religions, because it's part of history. And yes, I teach science, but history overlaps with science. And as a matter of fact, all of the subjects, if you really, really want to go there, they all overlap with each other in all the aspects of learning about things of the past and things of the current. Religion plays a big part in that. So just to get a basis knowledge of what is history and what people believe in and all that stuff, this is not bad for a school setting. And that's what I personally believe. No, I'm not trying to tell the kids you have to be a Christian. Of course, I would love it if they were, but this is legitimately educational purposes. So I'm okay with taking this to the classroom. Next is a book that I attempted to read, I want to say last year or the year before last, and time did not allow me to finish it. So I'm going to finish Love. I think this goes very well with the romance prompt. And I don't know how far this is. I don't know if this looks to be about 30 to 40% of the way. And what this is a bunch of short stories, like testimonial short stories of how people come to a healthy relationship with love. And therein it goes into the rest of their life with, spouses, with kids, with friendships, with relationships, with extended family and boundaries and all of that. And so far what I did read, I really enjoyed. Sorry, get another phone call. So far, what I did read, I really enjoyed. So I want to go ahead and finish it. Next, I picked this up at Half Price Books, and it is called The Christian Atheist. And this is a testimonial. So this also overlaps with testimony. But I chose this book because it looks, first of all, it looked crazy. I judged the book by its cover, not even gonna lie. And then when I opened it, I was like, oh my gosh, it is like really worth reading. So I'm just going to read you the first part of this, and because that's what got me to read it, and then I'll just let you go from there. This is Craig Groeschel's. Hopefully I pronounced that the right way. Apologize if I didn't. Personal journey towards an authentic, God-honoring life, and the lessons he learned along the way are more relevant than ever. From his family and his upbringing to the lackluster and even diametrically opposed expressions of faith he encountered. Groeschel's frank and raw conversation about our Christian atheist tendencies and habits in convicting and life-changing read. It says the honest, hard-hitting, and eye-opening look into ways people believe in God but live as if he doesn't exist in a classic, or doesn't exist is a classic in the making. So honestly, that last part really, really got me. How we believe in God but live as if he doesn't exist. And what I believe just in reading that, to me, what that is saying is that our lack of trust in God. Like, we believe in him and we believe that he can do things, but do we trust that he can do those things for us? Not just for other people, but also for us. So this is my main one that I want to get read, and this is my second up that I want to get read. This one should take no time. This one might take a little time because I'm probably going to be annotating this as I go. But these are my main two books out of all of these books that I'm talking about that I want to get done this month. So if I don't speak about any other book, they just may not get done this month. My book that I'm going to read just because, if time allots, and I will also be annotating it because it's a more of a historical text to me, is called The Origin of the Bible. I literally got this for free because it was in a little free library. I love learning about the history of the Bible and the history of the Christian religion and how it came about. One of my favorite classes in college was actually the history of Christianity. And so when I saw this, I was like, yes, don't mind if I do. So that's that. And along with this, I have another book that I actually didn't bring out here, which I don't know why. Maybe it's because I'm just now thinking about it. But anyway, it's a book that I also got free with this one in a little library. And it is like more of a picture book of maps. So it has maps, and they are labeled. So like where they found certain scrolls and everything, and like the history of the parts of Egypt that are in the Bible, and other like landmarks that are in the Bible. And, the way, I think there's a little also historical context on like what the culture was at the time. So these are all my physical books. So again, the priority goes like this in physical books. So it'll be this one, then this one, then this one, and then this one. Okay. And that's in the physical books. And for my 3 ebooks, and they're all on Kindle, we will start with a Bond of Briars by Erin Phillips. I read a book by her last year and I absolutely loved it. And it was a retelling of Esther. And so I'm really excited to get into this one. I don't know much about this one going into it. And I know it's a retelling of stories in the Bible. So it is a retelling of a story, and I don't know which one. and I probably should know by the title, but I don't, and I'm okay with that. And this would be considered a Christian fantasy or romance fantasies, usually with involving the women. So usually on the romance side, there's like romance themes in there. So I'm excited about that. And then looking for her book, I also found, where is it? Oh, it's called The Conjurer's Wife. And I do believe that falls into romance as well. And it is, or fantasy, it could be fantasy, but it also could be romance. And it is Christian based from what I was told. So I'm also going to check this one out. And it is by a different author, but I could also be wrong. So if I am wrong when I start to read it, I will just tell you that I didn't finish it because it was not what I thought. At least for this month, I will probably finish it at a different time if it's not Christian. And then another book that I started to read that I need to finish is, hold on. Let me get the title. No, that's not what I was trying to do. I just want you guys to see the title page. There we go. The Howler's Cry. This is book 2 in the Cross Academy series for Felicity. I absolutely love her books. I follow her on YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok. And I love the conversations that she has that go like revolves around her books. I am still writing my book, and my book is not Christian themed, so I don't talk about my book a whole lot. I actually don't know like really how to promote myself in my book, but I just love how she does it, and it's awesome. So I'm gonna finish The Howler's Cry because those are like, I love her writing so far. So those are my books. Those are what I'm going to read this month for my Christian readathon. Let me know what you're reading in the comments, and let me know if you have any like favorites that you've read before in the past, or just any Christian reads at all. Share them with us down in the comments, and until next time, bye. Bye.